So now I'm testing out Facebook Live instead of using Google Hangouts, because I did a quick Ask Me Anything on Google Hangouts and it wasn't working exactly great. Maybe because it required you to watch it on Google Hangouts and then you had to go to Twitter and do it and actually send out the questions that way. Or maybe you guys are just sick of asking me questions, which is fine. But the reason why I do these live streams, the Ask Me Anything things, is because thanks to the folks, hey Andrew, thanks to our supporters at Patreon, you guys have made it possible to do shows. And I said, hey, look, if I reach a certain goal, I'm going to do these Ask Iyaz Anythings because you guys seem to like it. And if you don't, that's fine too. But so I'm doing that. That's why I'm doing this right now. So I don't have a ton of stuff prepared, and I don't have a ton of questions for myself. So if you've got questions for me, you should let me know right here because I'm going to try it out. If you don't have questions for me, again, feel free to ask me whatever the hell you want. We got Joe's here. Hey Joe, good to see you. Right now we're doing an Ask Iyaz Anything thing. So if you've got an idea, you want to ask me a question, go ahead. If you don't ask me a question, you could just wait and tell me, when I go to work, because I work with you too, actually, so this is kind of silly. So I'll just start talking about all kinds of things right now, because this is normally where I have, last time I did this show with my best friend Rob, who's going to be over soon, but maybe I should have waited for him, because it makes it a little easier, because I can just play off of him until we get a question. So if you got any questions for me about tech or about myself or like my job or anything, or maybe you just have a question about something that's bugging you, maybe that's what we'll do here today. Joe's asking for my undivided attention. That's impossible. It's always divided. Always divided. And I apologize for the shaky hand cam thing, because this is my first Facebook Live anything. And right now, that is not me opening a ginger beer. That is somebody else. I probably can hear that, because I don't know how good the microphone is on this thing. Where do I work? Is that Bobby Clark? Clark from school? I work at CNET, which is a division of CBS Interactive. I was at the dentist the other day, and somebody actually said, I know you. You're on TV. I'm like, I'm not really on TV. I'm on internet TV, but I have been on TV, which is kind of neat. What exactly do I do? I work for the video team at this point, and thanks, Joe. He says I sound good. I work for the video team, and I make videos for CNET. That's my actual job, and I've been doing video work and podcasting for about 10 years now. And Liz Romero joined. Hello, Liz. Good to see you. How's it going, Bobby? I haven't seen you in a while. So how are things? I mean, now I'm asking people in the actual crowd there, considering I'm blasting the Thunder Spurs game. Oh, the Thunder's playing right now, and I'm not watching it, which is fine, because that's just not a problem. I haven't been watching much of basketball other than when it's on at work, because there's always something going on with the Warriors, and they're always doing awesome. And if you got any questions for me, now's the time to do it. Since you all know me personally, it's going to be kind of silly. That's pretty much how it's going to go. What other stuff should I tell you folks? Some of you folks don't know this, because this is going to be held up somewhere else. This video is going to stay up. A lot of folks don't know that I was a lawyer. That was exciting. I have parents, I'm a first-generation American. They're like, hey, tell you what, you be a lawyer or a doctor. And so I have a bio degree. And then I said, hey, I don't want to do this. So I got a law degree. And that was the end of that. And I retired officially fairly recently, so I don't have to pay my dues anymore. How was the Yankees game yesterday? Yes, yesterday was the Yankees game. We got to go to the Yankees game thanks to Liz. Now, Liz is my girlfriend, and she works at a company where they gave her these seats where you could not, there is no way on earth you could turn them down, okay? Whatever plans we had plans. I was going to do this Ask Me Anything yesterday and a podcast, and I had to cancel them because these seats were ridiculous. They were row 1 in Yankee Stadium in like a suite where they gave you free food and free beverages, and this is cushy as everything. And it was unbelievable. The game was awful because the Yankees lost, okay? Pineda is terrible. Just god-awful. Awful pitcher. We've seen him play 2 games at the stadium, okay? We've been in 3 games, we didn't won a single one. And Pineda started twice of the 2 of them, and he's lost both of them. So the game itself was a little rough, but the experience was fantastic because being in the front row, we were on the Jumbotron twice last night. A coworker, Rich, was actually at the game. He goes, Iyaz, were you at the Yankee game yesterday? And I said, yes. He goes, I thought that was you on the Jumbotron. I was like, yep, that was us, because I was with the folks who like to dance. Oh no, Leah is coming, says Joe, which is fun because I don't know why I should worry that I'm on Facebook Live, but I can say hi. So yeah, that was the Yankees game yesterday. Final score I think was like 8-1 or something awful, and it was the Royals who just roughed up the Yankees, and the Royals are awful too. So I don't know what's worse. Like, I mean, the Yankees are bad right now this year, but they are. I'd like to see them win once. That'd be nice. But the food was nice. The food was very good. It was free, so can't really argue with that. And that's also how I got Cracker Jacks, which I'm very excited about. I got to switch arms because my arm is tired. Excuse me. Yeah, so we got Cracker Jacks, and there's a Cracker Jack video coming, and you're going to see it, and you're going to be like, why is there a Cracker Jack video? And I'll say, because it's actually tech related, and you'll see it in a little bit. This is a Bell's Two Hearted beer. It's from Michigan. Big fan of Bell's. The label itself, if you ever look at the label of Two Hearted, it looks like a fish on a green field. It's just really a very ugly label. It's got an orange trim around it. The letters are pretty bad. The lettering, the font's pretty terrible. But it's a really good beer. Liz reminded me that yesterday for the food, there wasn't just hot dogs and nachos. Okay, there was a meatball slider station. There was a barbecue station with pulled pork and ribs and potato salad and coleslaw and cornbread. There was a giant box of Cracker Jack for all. There was free pints of ice cream, ice cream bars, and waters and soda, just everything. So that was a once in a lifetime experience, because I have no idea when tickets like that will be available and what the cost would be just to get them, because I'm pretty sure those seats are kind of owned by the company she works for. So nobody is going to get in on those seats. So we got to do that, which was really cool. Hey, my old friend Edward's here. I haven't seen Edward in a long time. Good to see you. So we're doing an Ask Me Anything kind of thing on Facebook Live, because Ask Me Anything because I do this monthly thanks to some folks at Patreon. Not at Patreon, sorry. I keep thinking, I'm not saying the company Patreon helps me, but other than they handle the payments. So I do a bunch of shows independently, and I do a thing at killingtime.tv, and I do this for right now. And if you go to finitecomedy.com, you'll see all the shows I've done in the past. So I'm doing my independent shows again, but to host them, it costs money. You can't just put something on the web. Sure, you can put it on YouTube, but if you want a downloadable content, you have to host your video somewhere. And for good quality, I found that. But since the monthly fee was somewhere about $30, I was like, well, I wonder if I could get some help. And so folks actually donated money at patreon.com/Iyaz, and they've made this possible. So one of the goals early on was $10 a month. I'll do an Ask Me Anything monthly, and then it's gotten to the point where it's almost $100 a month. And if we reach $100 a month, we'll go ahead and restart an older show I used to do called Dinosaurs Before There Were Fuels. It's a paleontology podcast, essentially. There's always dinosaur news. I know it sounds strange, but there's all kinds of information there. And the reason why I started that show a long time ago was because I wanted to watch a show that explained to me dinosaur news. And the thing is, there wasn't any, so I made one. And so I did that for a couple of years. And then I haven't done it in a while, because I went from an independent podcaster to working for a company in California, which was an experience. I used to work at twit.tv, worked with Tom Merritt, Sarah Lane, Jason Howell, Liz Romero. I used to work with her way back in the day. And so I started doing that professionally, so I kind of put away the independent stuff. But for some reason, I've gotten the independent bug back. I really want to do some more work, so that's why I'm doing that again. So that's why I do any of these at all. And the question we've got here is, first there was a comment about fully loaded Doritos. I should explain that. At the game yesterday, there was these triangles, these fried triangles, and what they were it was cheddar covered in Dorito crumbs. So, and it was deep fried. And there were like 3 triangles given to Liz's friend, who was super psyched. And I believe she yelled yes or yup when she was told they exist. So she was very happy about that. Anyway, how's being back in New York treating me? Being back in New York, I left New York for about 3 years to go to that job in California. New York is good. I mean, I will say I don't miss the New York weather. I never have. I miss California weather a lot, but the job's going well. Liz is doing well. The dogs. There's a story about the dogs. That'll be like on a Quest for Peace thing. They're healthy now, so that's good. And that's the way that went. What other stuff? The job's going really well in New York, actually. So things are good out here. And I get to see my son a lot. That's the biggest reason. That's why I moved out to New York, because my son was out here. So I was like, okay, let's go flying across the country again and move. Moved, and we live in a good part of town, so we get to like check out a lot of cool stuff. And for some reason, people keep giving tickets to Liz to do stuff, so we just keep doing stuff, which is really cool. Actually, now that I think about it, like we saw Disaster, which is a musical that just closed on it's somewhere off of Broadway, not actually a Broadway play. I think it's technically a Broadway play, but none of the plays that are on Broadway are on Broadway. And Joe was there too. So it was a lot of fun to go to that musical, because it was funny. It was a comedy. It wasn't one of these overly serious, oh, I must emote my pain in a song. And it's like, no, I don't do that. But you know what? This was so silly that you would emote in a song, because this is a comedy, and it knew it wasn't taking itself seriously, and it was on Broadway, says Joe, and that's and he knows New York better than I do, because he's been living out here for forever. Because I was born in Brooklyn, moved to Queens when I was little, and then I moved lots of places. But yeah, so Manhattan, I'm still relatively new to it. We've been in this apartment for about 2 years. We're about to move in about. Hey Edson, I haven't seen you in forever, man. Bobby Clark was in here just now. I don't know if you might remember him. Anyway, yes. So Joe's lived here forever. I've lived in Queens for a long time. Manhattan, we've been here for 2 years, and this apartment, we are leaving this apartment in 8 days. Now, if you look around, nothing is packed. I'm gonna panic at some point. Today is not that time. Probably around the 18th, I'll really panic. But probably, here's the deal. My best friend is going to visit tomorrow. He's going to be over for the next couple of days. And then after that, I'm going to start packing up everything I can and get this stuff the heck out of here. And Joe says, nobody likes Queens. I don't know, man. I think Spider-Man likes Queens. But does he like Queens, or does he just live there? Anyway. Everyone loves Queens. I don't know about that. What happened to the YouTube vids you used to do with This Old Nerd? Oh, Alan, this is a good question. Alan asked me, what happened to the YouTube vids that you used to make at This Old Nerd? So This Old Nerd was a show I did independently. And so what happened was I used that to build a body of work. Because what I learned in podcasting or video, if you want to do video at all, the only way you do video professionally is you have to do video, which is really strange. And so I made a show, and the weird thing is I did This Old Nerd after I quit tech, which is a whole other story. And what I did was I made this show, I did it independently, and I wound up at hey Randall, I wound up at Twit. That's right, that's where I ended up. I ended up with a career there and doing video professionally. So when I started doing video professionally, I didn't have time to do those independent projects as much. And on top of that, I basically rolled This Old Nerd into a new show I created for Twit called Know How, and I would take those projects and do them there. So that was the reason why I stopped doing This Old Nerd, because I was doing this weekly how-to program live, and people were watching it. It was doing really good numbers. I didn't really need to do 2 different ones, and also I felt like I couldn't really do another tech show outside of it, because it would be a conflict. And if you have a conflict over there and they don't remember talking to you, bad things happen. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing This Old Nerd a long time ago. Now, I am working on some other projects that I wouldn't say are similar, because it's not tech, but it's kind of the same character I played on This Old Nerd. If you ever watch me on This Old Nerd, which is available at finitecomedy.com, by the way, if you go there, you'll find the YouTube playlist for it. It is the character I'm playing is like me turned up to like 11, and I'm super confident, and I'm talking fast, and it's a lot of energy, and that's fine for, you know, a 15-minute show maybe, but I can't produce that amount of I cannot produce that amount of energy on those live shows. The live shows I had a lot of energy, but not the same, because it gets grating. A 40-minute show with the guy who's totally off the wall is not good TV. I know that for sure because I've tried that before, and actually I tried to watch that before. There used to be this guy, I think his name was Pat Croce. He was the owner of the 76ers, and I think he used to try to call basketball games on NBC. Horrible. He's got a ton of energy, but he's best in small doses. And I paid attention to that early on because it was very grating. It's very hard to hear high energy for that long. Trust me. Or at least I think so. And this is the dumb thing about video creation on my side. I make video that I want to watch, and I hope other people want to see it, but I try not to worry so much about what would somebody like. It's like, okay, is this something that will everyone else love this? Will that make sense? It's like, wait a second. If I like it, it's like it should be good enough. If it's, and I'm pretty critical of my own work. Trust me, I used to spend a lot of hours on This Old Nerd. So I spent so many hours. I used to watch every episode 3 times. And there's an argument going on whether people are drunk in the chat room or in the comment section. I'm okay with it if you guys are drunk or not. I'm not drunk. I'm having this beer here, but it's still not there. So Leah and Joe, if you're drunk, if you're not, either way. If I burp, I apologize. There's a lot more interaction on this than I saw on the Hangout. So I appreciate the fact that you guys are here and commenting and saying stuff. So that's nice. And Leah's sober, or she's Joe and Joe is typing on the keyboard. This is not, I'm not answering any questions. I'm just filling you guys in. I'm assuming you guys can see the comments. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm drinking a Bell's Two Hearted, which is an IPA from Michigan, and it has, thanks for the permission to burp away. Listen to the next room, by the way, which is like, let's see, I'm gonna just, like, there's the door. She's behind that door. This is hilarious. Yeah, it's Michigan beer, and it's very good. And like I said before, it's got a really ugly label. So if you're put off by bad design, you might be like, I'm not tasting this beer, but the beer is really good. I don't know what just happened there. I just heard a shriek. And so when you hear this back, Elizabeth, please let me know if you're all right in there. They just heard like a weird sound. Anyhow, you're drinking a New Belgium Tangerine IPA. Tell her to come out and say hi. Well, she's feeling sick, so and her voice is kind of shot. It's probably not the best idea. But you're right, though. I bet for views, she's always good for views. Because she's got high energy. She's pretty. She's very pretty. Anyway. Okay, so you guys are playing with the phone there. I don't know if I got anything else to say. I mean, I can kill some time and say some story stuff and explain. Okay. This shriek, I understand what's going on. Hey, Radford's here. Now I feel like I'm doing a magic mirror. And Radford's here, and Edson's here, and Leah's here. All right. Hey, everybody. So we're doing an Ask Me Anything. Radford, you know about the Patreon, so I don't have to explain what that is to you. So Radford's one of our supporters, and I appreciate that. Oh, what I should do if I'm actually going to use, I don't know if I can use this video. I don't know how to, can you download this video and actually post it somewhere else? Does anybody know that? I'm going to ask you guys questions about Facebook Live because I don't know Facebook Live very well. Where is my Patreon list? I'm going to thank my Patreon people. All right. So if I can use this, I don't know if I can, but whatever. I'm going to just say this anyway. So I'm going to thank a lot of patrons that we've got. They're at the reward level where I give them video credit. So Michelle, Paul, Alan, Patrick, and Chris. I can say their full names as well. Michelle, Sergio, Paul Dow, Alan Char, Patrick Cohn, and Chris Spera. You guys have made this possible. So I really appreciate this. You're not just like you're part of a really big group of people, and I really appreciate the amount of help and support we've gotten for this this endeavor. It's kind of nuts to do independent stuff again, and thanks to you guys, I get to do that's, I can hear myself back. That's gonna make me echo. Killing time, and you guys made it possible for me to get a subscription to Premiere Pro, because between Premiere Pro and the hosting of the video, it was like $50 a month just to do that. And I'm like, that's expensive. I mean, that's like, and a lot of things are expensive. Is there anything on the seat? Okay, so I don't know what's going on. Liz is sitting across from me right now. Radford was about to do a Facebook Live of building a shelf in the garage. Oh, well, yeah, that would be a better show. I would watch that. I don't know. Are you going to kill the mic? The audio? Okay. So Liz is across from me. I don't know if she wants to be on camera or not. She says, shrug. I will show her. Where are you going? I'm just going to flick the camera real fast. You don't want that one? You don't know. Is it just, you don't care? Okay, so I'm going to get close to this camera. Why? Because I'm turning this around. You can see you. She looks super happy. There she is. All right. You want to say anything?
I don't have the best voice right now.
Her voice is shut. Okay. She can dance. Yeah, she can dance. Not on this show. Jonathan's... Oh, you can read that, so that's fine. So, the video that you saved to the camera roll, do you guys know if the video includes the comments, or are those just gone? How does that work? Joe, you know all this stuff about Facebook Live. This is my first Facebook Live video ever. Yes, that was a flip button. And we've got all these people. Yeah, so now that people are cheering for you. This is great. Maybe if we get to like a $200 a month thing, you'll do the show instead of me. Oh, that would make it a lot easier.
Do it with you.
Next time, when you have your voice. I don't know if you can hear Liz. She might she might co-host this because it makes it a little easier instead of me just bouncing off of the camera. Although you guys know I can talk and I never shut up, so it's a real problem. Jonathan also asked me on Twitter, which was a great question. He asked me, who is my favorite PWP co-host who isn't at Sandman Sandine or yourself?
Suncast.
Suncast isn't a co-host. He phrased it very well, and so it's got to be Jonathan Strickland.
Round of applause.
Well-crafted question, sir. You can't promote a live stream on Facebook, but you can promote it once it's completed. Okay. Just the video. So we just had the video, so it's a good thing I'm repeating the questions and explaining what's happening. Otherwise, not as fun. I'm sure my VidPresso buddy could fix that. What's up, you over there?
I have a question.
You should put it in so everybody can see it, or you can tell me.
Well, I was going to tell you, and then you can just put it. Yeah.
What's the voice? Your voice is back. What's up?
I'm serving it. What did you want to do as a kid? Like, some people want to be a fireman, some people want to be a policeman, some people want to be a butcher.
What I wanted to be as a child, I wanted to be a comic book artist.
Tori wants to know too.
Tori, you want to know?
Tori wants to know.
Tori.
What was he get? What do you want to be? Peanut?
She wasn't Peanut. That was the other one. That's Tori up there on the couch. So what I wanted to be as a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist, and I liked drawing a lot. I can still kind of draw. I'm very rusty. I use my drawing skills at this point to do storyboards. It was funny because I did this video, this Cracker Jack video. You know about it. Some of you guys know about it, and you'll see it later. So I don't want to give it away. But I had the idea of how I was going to shoot it, and so when I got to the office, I immediately took out a pencil and paper, and I drew out exactly how I wanted the shots. And so it's a lot easier for me to convey information with pictures than just, okay, so let's make sure that the item is on the left side of the frame, and here's where the text is going to be. It's just like, no, this is a picture. This is how it looks. So that helps me a lot. So I still draw that stuff. Very crude drawings. I mean, you can figure out what's going on. But yeah, I wanted to be a comic book artist. I grew up in the art boom of the 90s. You know, there's like...
Jim Lee!
Yeah, all the flashy ones. Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Will Sportasio, all the Image guys.
What was
Todd
the
McFarlane.
artist that was at Comic-Con that you really liked?
All of them.
Well,
Oh, Neil Adams?
Thank you. I'm like, what about, was he a 90s?
Well, listen, let's hang the questions there.
Oh,
So Neil Adams was actually a 1960s artist, okay? He actually kind of redefined Batman in its style. And if you ever look at Neil Adams' work, you'll see how much he influenced Jim Lee, actually. Jim Lee is a combination of Neil Adams and John Byrne. If you put those two guys together, that's Jim Lee. So that's very, very influenced. So I went backwards eventually. So I started reading all the Batman stuff, and I read Neil Adams stuff. and I would look at Frank Miller's work. Frank Miller's stuff I didn't find so flashy, but his storytelling was really good. I really like doing comic book stuff. My mom was not a big fan of the comic book thing, and here's why. There was this ad that would run on like every channel, and at the Meadowlands Arena, which is no longer with us, there would be these art sales. And they'd be like, come to the art sales in the Meadowlands Arena. They have art, and they have all these paintings, and it's amazing, and these prices are so low because these are starving artists. And they tell you how to get to Meadowlands Arena or whatever, which is in New Jersey, and it's where the Giants used to play. Now it's like MetLife Field or whatever it is. So my mom would see this ad, and she would say to me, I don't want you being an artist. I don't want you being like one of the starving artists who sell their paintings at the Meadowlands Arena. I'm like, Mom, that's painting. I don't do painting. I draw. You know, I use a pencil and paper. I don't do paintings. That's not what I'm not trying to be that kind of artist. I'm a sequential artist. You know, that's what it turned out to be.
You could have been a sketch artist. Like, you could have done it with, like, profiling.
No, I don't want to. No, that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to draw characters in motion and making that work.
You could draw the bad guy getting away.
It's not the same thing. I don't want to be a sketch artist. But yeah, that was what I wanted to do when I was a little kid. I didn't grow out of that till maybe somewhere after, like around high school. I didn't really pursue it too much after that because folks were like, be a lawyer, be a doctor. So you got to pick one. So I picked the bio degree, and I didn't like biology. That's the fun thing. I like science, but I don't want... Hey, Brian M. Stack is in the chat room, he went to... chat room, he's in the comments. He went to college with me, so he knows that I have a bio degree.
The principal?
Yes, Principal Stack is here.
Principal.
So if you're just joining us, Brian, as you are, I am doing this... I am doing this. Please don't destroy things on the table. I'm going to tell you what's happening.
Sorry.
Is it a fly or a little bug?
I don't know.
Is it dead?
I don't know.
You lost it.
I lost it.
Okay, don't brush your phone. That's going to happen. Okay. We'll take care of that. You sure it's alive?
I don't know.
All right. You know what? If it shows up, let it live for now. I mean, it deserves to live, right? Kenny Brooks. I don't know you, Kenny Brooks. Do I? Now I'm going to ask you questions. This just reminded me of one of the things that made me bond with her pretty quickly was that when I met her at Twit, one of the first things she did was she did my thinking face, which was this. Is this how it works? Mm-hmm. I don't really think about it. Yep. She actually went into my thinking stance, and she did the same pattern because she was watching me apparently and knew exactly how to do my thinking face. Okay, well, nice to meet you, Kenny. And Adam Metro, I remember you. You recognized me on the Metro North, and we were like, he's like, I want to say hi in the chat room. I'm like, well, make sure you say Metro North or something. I'll remember. So he became Adam Metro. So hey, good to see you.
That's awesome.
And Kenny, thanks for watching my stuff over there. And I still do video, by the way. Security mirror. Yes, that there. That is.
No.
I'm not going to explain why I have it, but it's a mask. It's a mask that you can see through, and I actually use it for Halloween. But it's a really great. It's a great mask. I need to dust it because my son tried to use it one day, and it's got a face full of dust, and it's not a good thing. Yeah, so Kenny, if you're wondering what happened to my work and what's going on with video, you can go to cnet.com/radar. I do a weekly video show there, or top5.cnet.com. I do top 5 there. Netpics is on there, cnet.com/netpics. So a bunch of that stuff. So if you want to watch video of me, that's the where to do it. I'm working on crazier things now. There's also gfqnetwork.com where I do a couple of podcasts. I'm bringing back Quest for Peace. I got some ideas. Yeah, I've got a lot to talk about for Quest for Peace. I don't know if I could have guests. I'm going to have guests too, but I have a bunch of stuff that I just need to do solo. Or maybe I'll just bounce it off of either you, Liz, or maybe Andrew. Because who knows me? Not interview me, but there's some serious stuff that happened. So I need to get that off my chest.
Your brother, Fahad, would be a good person to do that too.
He's very quiet. Yes, I'm also on GFQ Network. I'm also at finitecomedy.com. So I'm doing my independent work. I'm doing work with GFQ Network. I'm doing work with CNET, which is my main deal. That's what I do, 40 hours a week. You and Tom Merritt were the best on TNT. Tom Merritt is the best out there. He is fantastic. I got to do DTNS the other day, and sometimes I forget how easy it was to work with him, because we just get on and it's like not like riding a bike, because I'm not that good at riding a bike anymore, but it's better than that. Falling off a log, that's how easy it is.
Falling into a pool.
No, falling into a pool is scary for me. Falling off a log is not so scary. When do I have time to sleep? This week, not so much.
Curtis.
Sorry. Liz's brother was in town, so we've been out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tim Burton Bar, yeah. And it was really far away, and today's Thursday. I'm going to get some sleep today. My best friend's coming to town tomorrow, so I'm not going to sleep the next 3 days. And then we're going to pack. Yeah, so I'm going to sleep probably sometime in late May. No.
I swear we have stuff going on in May too, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so there's that. Jonathan Strickland's pretty good, by the way. I mean, Tom's the best, but I actually...
Yeah, Rob. Get in there, Rob.
Rob's coming along. This is going to be good. Robert Borghese, if you don't know him, he's my partner in crime at finitecomedy.com. Although I think legally it's a sole proprietorship. I'll explain that later when you get here, Rob, because it's a little bit strange.
Oh dear.
Because it's whatever. We'll explain this later. That's not for this kind of show. Anyway, I've been talking to this for a long time. Has anybody got any questions? Because this originally wasn't Ask Iyaz Anything. If you got any questions, now is your chance before my arm gets tired enough where I'm like, I'm going to turn this off. And Rob, if you got a question, you can just ask me when you're here.
Tori has a question. She's coming down to say hi.
Yes, Tori?
She's like, when are you going to take me out?
For those of you who are wondering, I did not name Tori Tori. Nobody named her Tori. The breeder named her Tori. I think it's because her tail's like a tornado. Or her name was Victoria, and I just don't know.
We like Victoria.
Victoria. That's her official name when we get angry at her.
Victoria?
Her real name is Winland's Time Well Spent, because she was going to be a show dog. But guess what? Her ears are too far apart, and she had some wavy hair by her tail. So they're like, forget this dog. So they sold her. And then I got it. Will I watch Love, Wedding, Marriage before next Wednesday? Oh, yeah, next Wednesday.
That sounds terrible.
Can't go next Wednesday. Can't do the show.
Oh,
Liz got more tickets to stuff that were free and insane. So we have to reschedule Wednesday. Either we're doing Wednesday on Tuesday, or we're doing it some other time. But we got to do our show at a different time. Jonathan Strickland learning right now, live, that next Wednesday is already taken. Unless I do it from the baseball game, which is probably a bad idea, because I'd probably get arrested, because it's transmitting video at a place. Unless I can do it in the bathroom, I guess. But that'd be really Yes, I'm becoming a problem child. It's not my fault. They like her. They keep giving her free stuff. But I'll try to watch it before the next episode. I mean, feel free to do the episode without me. Any other questions before I go away?
What are your upcoming projects?
What upcoming projects?
You said you had upcoming projects. Can you give more details?
I'm not telling about the upcoming projects until Rob knows about one of them. We're going to do that independently on a new Patreon. But that's going to be cool. We've got a new project there. There's something I'm working with. I can't say who it is on this thing. I'm working with somebody there. What happens when you don't do an episode without me? Anyway. Yeah, I can't talk about will I ever shave?
Never!
I grew this thing out even bigger than I ever have. This is the longest I've had it, and it's higher. I usually cut it.
Fullest?
Yeah, it's fullest. Thank you.
Full.
It's super full. Would I ever shave? Yeah, I would shave. Liz is not a big fan of the... she likes the beard. I should say that. I know she's not a fan of my...
I like the accessory. It's an accessory.
It's an accessory, but yeah, I'm probably going to... You watch. I hope I don't have to watch another movie about Eastern European acrobats by myself.
Wait, that sounds entertaining.
It's not. It sounds entertaining, but it was not. I might shave. It would be like if you were like
the only way that I'd be super okay with it, like commitment, like to a Halloween costume.
I've done that before.
I know.
But what I would the only way I think it would work is if Liz went on a vacation that was like an extended 3-week vacation in California.
Are you sending me away?
Not anytime soon.
Oh, okay.
But if you were going away, for some reason, if you were going away, I'm like, I could just shave that first day and like grow it back. That's another thing, because I do video. I need to make sure that I'm consistent. So like,
Continuity.
yeah, there was one time I had grown it out pretty much, this amount, and I realized I was gonna do a new open to an old video I did, so I had to trim it off again. So I got time to grow this back out. So I don't know. It definitely does make me look older. I'm definitely older looking. I did a podcast called This Old Nerd, not This Old Geek. That's This Old Geek is something else. This Old Nerd, and I guess as you get older, it makes more sense to keep doing it. But yeah, the concept behind that show, by the way, was I've been a nerd since I was about 10, probably, if not younger. So like, at the time I started the show, I was probably like 30 something. So 20 something years of doing something, I think that's pretty old. You've been doing this. You know what you're doing. It's experience. And there goes Tori on the couch. And I did that show, and I liked it. It was a decent little program. It was a fun thing. And this old nerd was based on This Old House, obviously. I like the idea because This Old House, they would always do the same projects over and over again. Same freaking show. Every episode or every season. We're going to do a kitchen. We're going to do a bathroom. We're going to do a home theater. I'm like, why not do that? Instead of having to do a new project every single week, what if you had a season that had a house, essentially, and then you would do another house? And the fact that I keep moving, it actually does make a lot of sense. This is the last move I'm doing for a long time. 8 days from now. I also need to call the moving companies because I have 2 of them. I need to get rid of one of them, so that's going to be fun.
But this place is pretty impressive how we multitask 500 square feet.
All right, am I ever going to revive it? It would. I think technically this owner would be a conflict at CNET. I would have to talk to them about that in particular because I don't do the show. I didn't do the show when I came in there, so I wouldn't want to tick them off because they pay me to do tech videos. So I would, if I do have a concept, either I can pitch to them and they can either take it or not. I can just do it on the side. But it was very intensive. It was a really intensive program to do that. And I had my strategy then is something I kind of do now for project shows anyway. I recorded about 3 to 5 projects first, and then I edited 3 episodes before I released a single one because I wanted that lead time because I know life gets in the way of editing. And I would edit for probably about 3 hours, a day doing that. And that took a long time. So yeah, that's that. So unlikely to revive it anytime soon. But I'm pretty sure you guys are going to get an idea of what the next apartment's going to be like and how the home theater is set up. Maybe more home stuff than tech stuff. And tech stuff is a good podcast. You should listen to it. I listen to it regularly. I think that's going to do it for me. So anything else?
No podcasting actual area in the new place instead of like.
Yes, there's going to be a podcasting section upstairs. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of more space.
A lot more windows.
And windows. Yeah. All right. So.
I want to slide.
You can watch my face on that one again because I'm going to save this. All right. So Radford, you do the garage, and if you do that live, put it up. Maybe I'll watch it, and I'll see everybody later. I think Facebook works a lot better than Google Hangouts. So.
I just saw it. Sorry.